What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Sonic Riders. In the last one, we finished up the hero side story and pretty much wrapped up everything needed for Sonic and friends. But we still have another side story that we haven't seen. Babylon, the Babylon Rogues, and they have a lot more going on with their story than was led to believe. The raising of Babylon Garden, the mysterious cube that Jet pulls out near the end of the hero story, the name for seven chaos symbols, why Eggman sponsored them. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see what's going on.
Hey, boss! We've got some major trouble!
Storm, at least learn to knock before entering a room.
What's this? Oh, is this?
Yeah, that's when I took over things for my father.
So is this the key to the fabled Babylon Garden?
I wonder, could it be true? Could our ancestors have left behind hidden treasures that's just waiting to be discovered? If you get your greasy little hands on this, you'll probably use it in some crazy experiment of yours.
Oh, come on, I only want to look at it.
You always say you only want this or that. Remember the teachings of our ancestors. Be careful what you ask for. Ultimately, you'll only get 3 true wishes.
Oh, be quiet! Why'd you burst in here anyway?
Well, an egg salad? No.
Someone called Eggman wants to speak to you.
He told me that he has an interesting proposition for you.
Stop interrupting! Knock it off!
Am I interrupting anything?
So then, I heard you wanted to see me?
Are you Jet, the legendary rogue? Your reputation precedes you. I've heard so much about your infamous group.
Enough! What do you want?
Well, I heard a rumor that you have the key to Babylon Garden. Now, could this be true?
Huh? What's this key?
Really now? You don't have to be so distrusting. Were you aware of this? I imagine not yet. The key to Babylon Garden is...
So let me get this straight. We just need to collect all these Chaos Emeralds, right? Sounds easy.
You really think so, eh?
What do you mean? Are you saying the Babylon Rogue's incapable of stealing some puny emeralds?
No, of course not. But have you seen this character before? He's called Sonic and said to be the fastest creature on Earth. I've had many, many dreadful encounters with this pest.
He may be the fastest creature on the ground, but in the air, with me and my extreme gear, he's just a joke.
So Sonic, what you made of? Finished first place. Yes, we are now playing the cutscene that we saw. So, going from the and by the way, these are the hard mode stages of this race, of the hero mode races. And yeah, so we're jumping into the Babylon Rogue story, which I like how, and I didn't get a chance to go into this in the hero side story, but I like how, for all intents and purposes, jump right into that. That happens. So don't worry about it too much. I like how, for all intents and purposes, the story is written where all the villains are relatively competent and incredibly pragmatic. For instance, Wade put a bomb on the other side of Zelda's board, Sonic's board, just to guarantee chances of winning. And hopefully we'll learn, and we'll learn about that when we get to her part of the story. Robotic is not just doing this for the sake of doing this. He has ulterior motives, and you can see that he takes note of certain things as they go through. Storm, what the heck, man? Yes, your own supposed teammates will mess you up. But yeah, so kind of hard. Yeah, so yeah, gotta do a couple of things as it is. Okay, kind of a short power character. Honestly, power characters excel when it comes to hard mode levels like this. There's a lot more awesomeness in your way. But yeah, no, you see a pretty cunning, or at the very least, an observant robot mech, which is something that I do. Was one of the reasons why I was saying in the last part that I miss when the writing for Sonic had a little bit more effort put into it, because you have these instances where it's like, yeah, I'm having problems. Okay, again, I am out. Hit here. Nope. Did not hit. Okay, just keep running. Can I get a rail? Can I get a rail? Third level. So yeah, as you can see, the hard mode of this particular story mode comes with the fact that there's going to be a lot of obstacles in your way. So you're probably going to lose here. Yeah. The Babylon story consistently gives me trouble. I'm not even going to lie. It doesn't help that I kind of forget where a lot of the shortcuts are. Okay, there we go. Do about the police and their sporadic movements. Oh, I have to bring up the upgrades, the capsules. You know, your offensive materials. You know, the things that essentially make any mascot kart racer. Well, you have power-ups and power-downs. With regards to Sonic Riders, you really only have a few options in terms of power-ups. Well, a few options. You only have like one, and that is the the electro shield, which attracts rings to you, which makes it easier to get level ups. You have ring capsules, which, you know, give you a boost that help you get level ups as well. And then you have air boosts, which in a pinch will say, like, they are randomized, you cannot tell which one's which. But then you have a power down. Okay. There is one power down that I know of. No, wait, my bad. There's one offensive one where they throw a bomb at you for some apparent reason. Then you have a power down where they attach a ball and chain to your ankle for some odd reason. I don't know why they decided to do that. So yeah, that is the one element of this that is kind of random. Okay, I messed it up like crazy here. So yeah. But yeah, going off it, I guess we can go ahead and go into some more of the problems and some of the pros and cons of Sonic Riders. Because I don't think I talked much about it with Heroes. I think I was just trying to get all the information I could to you. But one of the pros of Sonic Riders, and I think I mentioned this in Heroes, is that it is, for all intents and purposes, a more skill-based racer. I maintain that to this day. It is a more skill-based racer compared to Mario. And that's only because... Oh, come on. Come on. I boosted him in the first place. Oh, that is terrible. What happened? It's a more skill-based racer, and it's a more stylized racer. I just think it fits more with Sonic's aesthetic as this guy with an attitude. That's how he's been advertised since the 90s. This him being more carefree, laid back, and jokey. This is something relatively new in terms of Sonic's history. I argue that it did start in Sonic Riders, which is a more laid back, more, I guess you could say, mature tone when compared to previous incarnations. moves when compared to previous iterations of the character in stories, but for all intents and purposes, they've been pushing him more and more as this kind of meta character where he just doesn't take anything seriously. And while that's not bad, I don't think it's absolutely terrible. It's not interesting because we've seen this character 1,000 times. Because it's what people default to when they're trying to make a character cool or have depth by just making them not care about anything. And that's just, when a character doesn't care, I'm inclined not to care, you know? With Sonic Riders, we see that Sonic does genuinely try to cheer Tails up. When Wave disses him in his board. With Knuckles, yeah, we see that he doesn't understand basically the more advanced concepts of why a board floats. But he did make the effort to try. He wasn't trying to be an idiot, just like, oh, that's nice. I heard float, like board float. That's been his thing for a while, and Tails has been kind of I guess for lack of a better word, a smartass. And well, that a lot of that gets annoying. Having characters like this that are written where they have kind of ups and downs, they don't have to be Shakespeare. I'm not expecting Sonic to be like an in-depth commentary on the nature of life and what it means to enjoy life. I don't expect that, but I do expect at least for them to be some ups and downs, you know, for there to be a sense of a threat. Because you get games like, well, Sonic Forces, where they have an old plot point where he's been tortured for months, and then we cut to him in a jail cell after these months of torture, and he's none the worse for wear. It's like, what were you doing, guys? You know? And this is just one of the things that I do miss about this era of Sonic.
I get it, okay? It just floats, and that's good enough for me. Huh?
Sorry, but it's just too funny. Let's see. Huh? That gear's unusual.
Customized it myself.
This isn't half bad for an amateur. Still, you can never be too careful. Well, I never imagined anyone would enter the race with such a piece of junk. Thanks, though. It was good for a laugh. See ya, Shorty.
Oh, that girl! Who does she think she is?
Defeat Amy, finish in first place. You thought it was going to be Tails. No, it wasn't. Amy has a bone to pick with Wave. But yeah, we see in this story that in this part of the story is once again one of the things that I kind of miss about Sonic, where they would take the chance to tell different sides of a story via alternate perspectives. I do miss that. I'll admit it is a bit much, and I understand the effort that it would take to do such a thing. But currently, I just missed the ramp. Oh well, that's fine. But you know, I do appreciate it because it shows that there is an effort being put into trying to make the story interesting and engaging and give you replay values. You don't just play one story and then just say, I'm done. Oh no, that's power. Okay. So got the flight area changed a little bit here. We're getting at here? Right. So as you saw there, Wave actually doesn't think that Tails did a bad job with regards to, I'm sorry, you don't have to do that, with regards to his extreme gear. She actually thinks he made a pretty solid board for his first time out. But in her mindset, as far as she's concerned, Jet's pride and Storm's hard-headedness that she's working with, it's better to take the initiative and try to. And yeah, it's her. I was about to mention that the progressive level up, they give a different different animations and different effects to the boost attack, but it's mostly just cosmetic stuff. It ultimately does serve the same goal. Okay, don't know how I slowed down there, but I did. Not totally placed here, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We still have one left to fall back. I don't know why I did that, because you don't actually do anything with that. It's just TNT. Nice. What's wrong with her head? Yeah, no, I mean, it shows that she is by far the more practical of the three. Jet is the leader. He pretty much, what he says goes. That is how it's supposed to work. But, you know, Storm's the muscle. He's the enforcer. All he does is, you know, all he does is provide the muscle. Wave is their mechanic. She fixes everything. But she's also the most pragmatic of the group. She understands that despite, you know, despite having confidence in her teammates, Tell shows that he has very much the skill and ability to make something that rivals her own tech. And that Sonic is skilled enough to put it to use. That is something that you just don't. That is Learn last lap? I didn't know that. That is a form of pragmatism that I can get behind. It doesn't make the villain too smart or too unstoppable like what happens in modern writing, as I've been seeing recently, where they make the villain just way too powerful and way too smart to the point where they have to Deus Ex Machina the hero in order to give him a chance to win. Looking at you win game. What the heck? Did I really miss that ring? I missed that ring. Go figure. But it also doesn't make them too dumb, where it's like, how did you ever manage to win? Because see, with Jet, yeah, he's arrogant, but he has the skill to back it up. Storm is a bruiser, but he can definitely, you know, back up his own muscle. He's just very simple and honest to a fault. With regards to Wave, you know, she's smart, pragmatic, and able to pretty much keep the boys on track when need be. Like at the end of the hero story, where Sonic gives up the trinket to Babylon because he has the need for it. Jet's pride and arrogance, he was willing to just say, no, I don't need your pity, despite the fact that was the whole reason why he came to Babylon anyway. And Wave was like, if they don't want it, I'll take it. She has no compunctions about that. Her pride is in her mechanical work and her ability to get the job done. So it's just a form of writing that I do miss with regards to, and it's not even just a problem with Sonic, it's a problem with modern writing in general that I just kind of miss, because it shows a lightheartedness, but it shows a lightheartedness that is just sorely missing from the series. Sorely missing from writing nowadays, in lieu of this overly depressive, grim, dark nonsense. It's okay to have a commentary on that, but it's like when it becomes like to the point where it's like just oppressively so, it's like why would I sit around for this? While still maintaining an air of seriousness. In my opinion, if you're going to have a story, if you make it overly dark, there has to be lighthearted moments throughout, or else you're just going to bog down the reader. Sure, you can take that risky path and try to make that the main point. And there are some stories, some narratives, some adventures that excel with regards to that overly oppressive atmosphere, but there needs to be some lightheartedness to it. If you make something lighthearted, it helps to have darker moments to kind of balance it out, but try not to overly shock your audience. It can be a bit much from at times. So it's just something to keep in mind. Since I failed to the missions a couple times, we're going to do one more before we call it a part for the day.
Boss, the red dude beat me in the race.
I can't believe this.
Man, you really are worthless.
Boss, it wasn't my fault. He must have cheated. That's it. He must have used some special type of gear.
What? Are you implying that you lost because of my gear? No one can tune a gear the way I can. Accept it, buddy. It's not the board. Your skills just suck.
What? Suck?
Yes, S-U-C-K, suck.
Stop it! Now, let's get down to business. I believe our colleague Eggman, he's gotta be hiding something. And you know, I don't like secrets, so I've got a job for you, Storm.
Sure.
I want you to sneak into Eggman's base and find out what he's hiding there. Make sure you look carefully.
You got it, boss.
Hey, before you go, bring something back or don't return at all.
Yes, sir.
Ah! Ah!
Leave Eggman Robo behind you. Finish in first place. Yeah, Eggman Robo. By the way, the Eggman robots you can't unlock. You have to play like a ridiculous number of hours to unlock either one of them, but you can unlock them, the green and the red one. There we go. Unbelievable. I used to be able to get that consistent. I could like really time it down to the very last second, but skills have rusted over the years, as you can tell. But yeah, going back on that, I do just kind of miss this era of kind of writing. And I understand why they changed it. I do. Is to appeal to a wider audience, is to get a newer crowd, and they follow trends, and that's for the most part. I wouldn't say for the most part. That was to some extent Sonic in the early '90s, but the mid 2000s, he was very much trying to do his own thing. How do I put this? It felt like with regards to Sonic Riders, Sonic Heroes, and even, well, not Shadow, I was going to say Shadow, but that one was very much designed with trying to follow a trend in mind, and it is backfired horribly. But Sonic Riders, Zero Gravity, Sonic the Hedgehog, 2006, and Heroes. Oh, come on, oh wait, I lost all of them? Oh! I did not think that's what happened. I thought you kept your upgrade even if you got hit. Go figure. We're just gonna build back up that level up again. But yeah, no, I mean it's just it feels like for all intents and purposes Sonic was trying to do his own things and his own trend and find his own identity. Sonic Unleashed, I think, was probably the best iteration of the character, with one of the better adventures under his belt. Yes, there are issues with regards to the other half of that game, the warehouse gameplay, but I don't mind it because it's nothing too crazy. But I can't objectively see why people would have a problem with that game. But in my honest opinion, Sonic Riders and Sonic Unleashed were probably the eras of Sonic that unfortunately ended way too soon. Unleashed came immediately after 06, and it still, for the most part, tried to do what 06 tried to do, and that was just modernize the Adventure 2 style formula. But because Sonic's popularity had his reputation had pretty much taken a massive hit at that point. There really wasn't much you could do to keep him relevant anymore. Okay, that was not meant to happen, but we will make do. Okay, this shouldn't be too big a deal. Now, if I lose this time, it's just because of that BS without me making that turn. And win. Okay, that was close. But yeah, no, that's all I gotta say with regards to that. We might go into it more next time. We might not. You never know. If you've been chatting a long time, you know that I like to carry tangents into subsequent episodes just because. But for now, we're going to call it for here. Have an awesome, and I'll catch you later.